If it's a live performance band, I'll generally do a bit of pre-production, and I'll go and rehearse them for a couple of days, go through all the songs, do the arrangements, make sure the middle eights are there, make sure they've got everything, make sure everybody's parts are there. So, and I'll try and do that a few weeks before, or even a month or two before we record, so they've got time to remember and learn all the parts. And even if they have the luxury of it, to gig them, so they can play them live before we record. That's always the best, but it's very rare they have that opportunity. And then when we get into the studio, they're kind of up to speed, because by the time we get into the studio, I'm going to throw a whole load of other things at them. And if they're still trying to remember what they did on the first pre-production, it just goes slowly and makes it a bit, you know. I'm of the school of George Martin, you know, so George's thing was production's all about tact and diplomacy. So I'll try and employ as much tact and diplomacy as I can muster. And of course, with artists and, you have to be very patient sometimes, because they don't just, switch on. But having said that, part of what I'm recording is the struggle they're going through. I like to see and hear the struggle, so I'll keep them busy and I try and keep them as occupied as I can, so they don't have too much time to rationally think about it, but they just put all their muster into it. Phil Spector used to like to wear out his musicians. They used to like to record them all day and night, and it was only when they were just falling over with exhaustion that he thought they gave the best performance. So I like to do that a bit as well. But at the same time, I like to work really fast, and I'm probably from the school of first take is the best take. Often, possibly because I kind of grew up with punk and I like the spontaneity of that. But it depends on the artist. Every artist is different, and I use different techniques generally for all of them. Get a good engineer. Get an engineer to do it. And if I don't like the sound of it, I might make a suggestion, move the mic away or use a different mic. But generally, I'll let the engineer do that. If I'm engineering it, I tend to just stick it in front of it and work with whatever that is.
And so you'll be using, like, say, SM57s on a Marshall cab?
No, not recording.
No, okay.
Maybe for a live guide vocal, that's all.
Right, okay.
Yeah. My absolute favourite was Olympic.
Oh, yeah.
But I was getting sick of that because I'd been in there for 10 years solid, and there's no windows, there's no daylight, no fresh air. It was driving me mad. But the gear and the space, the actual rooms in there were fantastic. Ocean Way, LA, I really liked. Fabrique in France, phenomenal. But very few actually meet up to what I've got in Spain with Space Mountain and Andalusia. That's one of the best I've ever been in. But I like, if you for a big studio, I like a nice room, a good room that has a nice ambience. Where you can record the drums. All of them I love, for different reasons, from the first to 2003, Pandemonium, the last three. They're all great, I think.